All right, all you Move, Think, Smile followers, we've got an incredible episode for you today. Today, we have one of our clients, the phenomenal Dr. Ingrid Ratz. And what's really interesting is she is a doctor in physical therapy, and she has been able to do something that most physical therapists dream about. And I don't want to ruin the story. I'm going to let her kind of fill it in. But I do want to kind of just share something with everybody. I think it's really important that we do this because she just posted this literally a couple days ago on a Sunday. And Ingrid, look at that right there.
Yeah,
you
very
enrolled
cool.
your first. Now, what's really cool is Ingrid has actually, she's going to talk about this. She's actually enrolled what? This is your fourth client now?
Yes, fourth client.
And your first three were at 3K.
Correct. Yep, 3K.
Now we are up to 5K client. So everybody watching this right now is like, how in the heck did you do that? How did you do that? So let's kind of take a look at this. So Ingrid, so kind of let everybody know what was going on because you had a physical practice, right?
Yeah. So I had a brick and mortar for a long time, for over a decade. And I had a couple kids. So I've got two small kids, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. And I was trying desperately to figure out how to make it all work. And the model that I thought I had just wasn't working very well for my lifestyle and with having small children. And I had to close down, and I was ready to open back up again. And I happened to find you guys, and I had a conversation the same day I was getting ready to sign my lease for a new brick and mortar location to get my business back up off the ground after having my youngest. And I decided to pause and just see and explore and see where this might take me. And it's turned out to be the best decision I've made for my business. And I'm really excited about what the future might hold for me and my family and for the clients that I get to work with, because it's really been an incredible experience for me, but also for my clients. They've given me some really great feedback that I'm not sure I would have gotten in that same setting that I did with the brick and mortar.
Okay. Well, this is awesome. So let's kind of dive into what you were doing, because this is, I think, a traditional. So a lot of physical therapists will do one of two things. If I have this correct, they'll either go work in a clinical setting, right? Where they're just pumping people through, where you spend 15, 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour with people, right?
Yep.
Boom, 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 kind of like a cog in a machine, or you have your private practice.
Yes. So I had a private practice and I did one-on-one, very individualized, and I absolutely loved it. But I couldn't keep up the pace the way I was doing it, not with my body. And I wanted desperately to figure out a way to make it all work. So I guess I kind of switched models entirely, and I'm acting more as a coach now and as a postpartum corrective exercise specialist. And I'm not working that one-on-one model anymore. And I'm getting better results. So that's the best part.
Which is okay. So this is what's really cool. Number one, first and foremost, Ingrid is dead serious about getting her clients amazing results, because you didn't become a physical therapist if you're not going to help people, right?
No, exactly. Yeah. I love being a physical therapist. I love working with people. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But honestly, like, you were pretty burned out when we first got together, right?
Oh, I was very burnt out. Absolutely. Yes. Because
And
you see 9 patients or clients in a day, depending on whether you're acting as a physical therapist or you're acting as a Pilates instructor or a fitness coach. That's a lot of hours, plus all the administration time you spend doing the paperwork.
so, and what was your average time with a person one-on-one? 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour?
I scheduled 45, but I always went over.
Okay. So if you're doing 9 clients a day, that's 9 hours of client time. And then we have the admin for running the business time, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was
And
done at bedtime after the kids went to bed, or on the weekends, or, whenever I could fit it in.
so 9 times 5, that's 45 hours right there. So how many hours a week were you working?
I lost count. I really, honestly, I couldn't tell you. I was working a lot, and my boundaries were blurred in the sense that I was working in the morning, I was working in the afternoon, I was working in the evening. I didn't have that division, I guess.
Right on. All right. So we're burned out. We got a physical practice. And it wasn't like your practice was hurt. Like you had people coming in, you had clients coming in, but you were really burned out. And the whole purpose of having a successful career so you can enjoy life. But if you're totally burned out, it's really hard to enjoy life, isn't it?
It is. And I struggled physically after the birth of my son. And those physical limitations I had prevented me from being, I mean, I'm a manual therapist by training. So I'm very physical in my job. And I couldn't actually do that part of my job because physically my body was broken after I had kids. But I knew I wanted to get back to it. I knew I could help people. I just needed to heal my body first and
Right.
figure out how to make it sustainable.
Got it. All right. So when we started working together, Ingrid, we did some pretty big 180 shifts with your business, especially with the way that you were structuring things, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm completely online now. I'm virtual. So I can take my business anywhere I want. And it really is conducive to my lifestyle right now with kids because I can go to their meetings in school and I can be a room mom and I can do all the stuff that I was struggling to balance before.
Right. And we're not working who remembers how many hours a week anymore. Would you say you're putting in about 6 to 10 hours a week with your clients now?
Yeah, probably around 10, I would say. 10
And
hours a
that's,
week.
yeah, and that's total with all of your clients.
Mhm.
And I think what's really important here is you don't even have a physical practice anymore, do you?
No, I don't.
So this is what's some really cool stuff. And why don't you share some of the early victories? So we know you've gotten 4 clients so far. So I think it was like within the first 4 to 6 weeks we started working together. We got your first 3 clients in at 3K a piece, and you brought in $9,000. Is that right?
Yes, I couldn't believe it myself. And I was completely uncomfortable at the time. I just wasn't ready. I was like, pause, pause, pause. Give me a few more months. Let me get some more, planning under my belt. But you just kind of ride the roller coaster and it's been a fun ride.
Yeah, so that's really awesome. So, really quick victories out of the gate for a physical therapist that is used to manual intervention, right? Actually physically being present, physically teaching or touching people, and is now moved into more of a coaching slash educational model using what she knows. And just so everybody knows, what is your offer and who are you helping?
Yeah, so I help hypermobile moms like myself who are struggling to heal after giving birth, whether you're 6 months postpartum or 30 years postpartum, who either have an abdominal gap, that diastasis down their midline, or who have issues with leaking, and get them back to that active lifestyle that they had before they had kids, basically. Um, Stemming from my own personal journey.
Yeah, so they're dry and strong anytime they cough, laugh, sneeze, run, or jump, right?
Exactly. And, pain is no longer getting in their way or preventing them from, you know, living the life that they want to live, as corny as that may sound, but it's true. They're not on the sidelines anymore. They're actually out there participating and going skiing and hiking and running, playing tennis, whatever it is that's important to them.
Awesome. So when we first started working together, I mean, this process, I mean, I tell people, I mean, health entrepreneurship is a course in obstacles. Would you agree?
Oh my God. Yes, absolutely. I mean,
So
there
what,
are days where you want to quit, and then there's days where you're feeling like you're on top of the world.
what would you say were some of the big obstacles we overcame since we started? I mean, we're still working. We're still taking Ingrid up to the next level. So what do you think are
Yeah,
some
I
of the big
mean,
ones?
biggest obstacle was changing my mindset as how I was working as a PT in a brick and mortar and that one-on-one model to working
Mhm.
as a coach, the educational model, empowering my clients, giving them kind of autonomy over taking control of their health and giving them the tools and getting out of um, that that the model that just wasn't working so well for me in the sense that I just knew my patients back in the physical therapy practice, they could get better results if they had more time with me. And that, only seeing them once a week or once every couple weeks just wasn't enough. And they really needed my eyes on them to review exercises and to give them information and just the support from the group. Having these women together online has been really empowering for them, and they love it. They love having that support, and that's new to me. I've never done anything virtual before now. So there was a lot of technology curveballs I had to overcome for sure.
Yeah, there were. Yeah, there were.
Yes.
So, okay. So if we boil that down, so that first obstacle is changing the structure of the way you were doing things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool. And what's really cool, and I keep going back to this, these women that she's working with, she's doing in a group virtual setting. And instead of seeing Ingrid like for 45 minutes once a week, or maybe once every 2 weeks, or maybe once a month, they're seeing her for 4 to 8 hours a week. Each of them, they have FaceTime with her in a virtual setting, and they're getting better results than she was manually working with them in a physical office.
Hmm.
This is
And they're
amazing.
taking control over their success too. It's not like my hands aren't, quote, fixing them. They're actually doing the work themselves, and it's right. They're getting these lasting results.
And this is a health professional's dream. It doesn't matter if you're in traditional healthcare, you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're a PA, you're a PT, or if you're a health coach, a wellness expert. Getting people to actually show up and do the things and be compliant, as the technical term is, it's dreamy, because I'm sure you've never ever worked with a challenging person before, have you?
No, and you know what? One of the biggest frustrations in the clinic is getting my patients to do their home exercise program. You invest all this time and energy in working with them one on one, and that model that we talked about, and then they come in and say, "I do my home exercise program, but I'll do it next week," and it's just so frustrating.
It is. It is. I mean, you pour your heart and soul into the people. I mean, you don't. I haven't. I've yet to meet one person who got into health and wellness because had an ulterior motive other than helping people improve their health. Right. So you pour your heart and soul into it, and then they either make excuses, they don't do the work, or even better yet, which is it's just horrible. They'll go home and smoke a pack of cigarettes, drink a 12-pack of Budweiser. They'll sit there, even though you're telling them exactly what to do, but they're not doing the work.
Hmm.
And
And I
that's
have to
just
say,
so.
sorry, Adam, I was just going to say that the three women who have been in the group that I started my pilot program with, I mean, they have done their homework every single week for the last 12 weeks. And it has been incredible. And the results have been amazing. And I told them the other day, I was like, it should be a crime to have this much fun working with you women. I hope it's mutual because, we laugh, we have a great time. I feel very fortunate that gets to be my job.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome. And so Ingrid just said our magic word here, magic phrase we call pilot program, because when you are a physical therapist or you're in that type of health profession where you're used to a transactional model, and that is where you're basically charging for the hour, you're charging for the procedure, you're trading time for money. Getting off that and jumping up to a transformational model where we're charging $3,000 to $5,000 to $7,000 or more, there's a little bit of a mindset shift there that we got to work with. Would you say it was an obstacle?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. You're just so used to people asking you for the quick fix and uh, you know, you're getting, yeah, exactly. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So the term pilot program, so her price is 5K, but the first couple of people she worked with in order to help her get validation. And we really worked hard with Ingrid on this, that we had a little bit of incentive to jumpstart it. And that's one of the reasons we were able to position this and communicate with her people. And what's really cool, your first 3 clients came in before we even spent a dime on advertising.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So from my soft network, absolutely, where
Yeah.
you guys helped me craft some emails and get over my hurdles with my writing ability. And that's how those clients came about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sending a couple emails to people who already know who you are, and bam, went from physical practice to online 9K, couple weeks. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and
What?
the coolest part is for me personally is that I've had several people side of my circle, neighbors, friends, family, comment on something seems different about you. Your energy is different. What are you doing that's new and different? And I think it's just I'm energized. I'm excited about what I'm doing, and I think it's showing in my day-to-day life, not just with my clients.
Well, this is really cool to pick up on because, we work on the business, right? But what are the side effects of actually when you change the structure? We talked about that. You change the message and how you're communicating with people so they actually show up and they're paying you because they've got skin in the game. You're showing up at a higher level, but you're working less with them. They're having better results.
Hmm.
I mean, it's just absolutely phenomenal. But what are the side effects? So people are like, "Oh, this is really cool." But what are the side effects you've seen outside of the business? Are we burning out anymore?
No, I mean, I've made more time for me to take care of my needs. Just am happier. It's just laughing and smiling more, and I'm less bogged down with the stress of worry and anxiety. And, I just, I think there's a bit more of a lightness in my step, for as corny as that may sound.
Right
But
on. And you said people are noticing that there's a different, like you look better.
yeah, I've had 3 people say something to me all within several weeks of each other, and I was like, "Well, the first one, okay, fine," but then there was this sort of pattern that was happening. I was like, "I guess there is something changing on the outside, whether it's, my energy or my appearance or whatever it is that they're noticing." So clearly, what I'm doing is what's best for me
Right
and for
on.
my
Right on.
clients.
Yeah, this is awesome. So, what other big roadblocks have we helped you kind of like, or obstacles to get you over so far? What were some of the big ones that you had talked a lot about mindset?
Mindset, wrapping my head around doing something virtual and in a group model. That was really hard for me because I am so used to the one-on-one approach,
Mhm.
and getting my head around the fact that doing the group would actually be better than the one-on-one for my clients. That was the one first big hurdle, I guess. Another big hurdle was, add copy and writing and emailing. It's just not my strength. I'm a science person, I'm a biomechanics person, I'm a nerd when it comes to that sort of stuff. But you put me in an English class and I freak out. So the thought of having to do that was extremely daunting. So you guys have helped me tremendously with that. And then as far as other hurdles, I mean, it's just I got it a little bit. Those are probably the 2 biggest hurdles for me, for sure. I'm sure there's more. They always come up, but you deal with them, and then I try not to revisit the past.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is cool stuff. And I think it's also important to look at, you got to go back and look at the numbers too, because, we want Ingrid's business to be like a high performance engine that pumps out 1,000 horsepower. But we know if Ingrid's got Ingrid, if you got a Ferrari sitting in a driveway and you put in bad gas, are you going to get very far?
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Right. So we got to make sure that the entrepreneur, in this case, Ingrid, the business owner, is also operating on high octane. And would you say that the support that we were able to give you was okay?
Oh, it was more than okay. I mean, you guys were really made yourself available. When I was having a bad week, I got a little extra attention, and, the modules and the videos and the group support. I mean, I think I can honestly say I'm going to come away from working with you guys with some really great friends with other women and men that are in the group together. I intend to stay in touch with them, and I never saw that coming. I was just sort of doing something for my business. I wasn't planning on making friends while I was at
Yeah.
it too. So it's been really fun to be in it with other people going through the same struggles, and then you kind of bond with these people, and that's been really special too.
So let's talk about your team of Sherpas real quick, right? Because we like to use the analogy of we got a 14,000 foot mountain right here. It's steep and gnarly. This is Success Mountain, and we got to get to the top without falling off and breaking in half. So we like to call them Sherpas. So let's talk about your high octane Sherpa, Elia. What did you find that was amazing working with her?
Gosh, I feel like I connected with her right off the bat. I mean, who else was going to get me to pause signing that lease the same day I was supposed to have my call with her? I had a call with her that same day. I was supposed to sign. And, there was something about the call it an intuition or a gut feeling or a vibe, but it was she was on the phone that I feel like I bonded with and connected to right away. And it's been that way since, September. At this point, it's been 4 or 5 months now. I've been working
Yeah.
through this program and this time with you guys. She's been incredible. And, every time we check in, I think it's every 2 weeks, roughly, depending. She really kind of gives you the juice that you need. You kind of go over some of the stuff you're struggling with and helps you come up with some strategies and game plans to kind of keep moving the needle forward.
Yeah.
Every time you feel like you might be sliding back a little bit, you kind of get that extra boost to take you a little bit further. So that's been really great. And I've really enjoyed my time with her.
And is she like, all right, Ingrid, we're at 19 minutes and 30 seconds. We only got 20 minutes today. I got to cut off here in 30 seconds. Did she do
No,
that?
never. Again, it's it's out of that time model, right? I mean,
Right.
you're invested in my success. And it's very apparent from the beginning, right? So it's not based on you have a 20-minute call and you only get 20 minutes. I mean, she kind of makes sure that, your questions are answered. And even when we do the lives, I mean, it's not like we got to cut it off right at this time, which has been really nice. And I tried to use that with my clients too. And that has proven to be really a great model. Like I check in with them if I feel like I need to. And other weeks I don't necessarily need to check in with them as much, but it's what they need at that current moment in time. And I feel like I can give it to them because I have the time now and I'm not pressed for time. And I feel that's like the way you guys modeled it for me. And so I'm trying to model that back.
Cool. And this is what's really cool is that, would you say this model is flexible and it can organically evolve for everybody that wants to adopt it?
I use that word all the time. I think I stole that from Elia. It's organic. It's always evolving. Absolutely. I mean, I'm doing things different than I was doing them a couple months ago. And I imagine I'll be doing them even, it'll be different a couple months from now as well. So, I mean, it's changing, it's evolving. And the best part is it's working in my current lifestyle with having 2 small children, which I really, really thought I had set up my private practice to be successful with small children and be able to be present with the clients and patients and present with my family. And it was this tug of war game for sure.
Got it. And so that's awesome. Ellie did a phenomenal job. This is why we call her high octane, queen. She's really good at pumping in the hot, the super powerful fuel into the business. Let's talk about Robin, your technical Sherpa. Was she useful?
Oh, Robin, she's lovely. I really enjoyed working with her. She's great. That was a total bonus. I didn't even know she would be part of the group, until I was already in the group. And that was great. I really, I felt like she kind of always went out of her way to make sure that my questions were answered because, as you know, I always have a million questions.
Yes, you do.
Those lives. And, she would do like special recordings and send them to me if I needed some clarification with tech stuff, which was so helpful and saved me so much time.
Nice. And of course, when it came to actually getting to the marketing, which you had clients coming in before you even did that stuff, she built it all for you. Did you find it working really well with her?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Now let's get to the elephant in the room. Yours truly. How was it? So
yes, I love it because you and Ellie are the yin and yang, I feel like, of the group, where there's a really, really great balance between the two of you. The energy that you bring and the energy that she brings is very different. And, you're very motivational, especially when it comes to ad copy and kind of boosting people's confidence for sure.
Yeah.
And I needed that tremendously when it came to writing those tidbits for my copy. So that was helpful.
That's awesome. And the reality is, I love what Ingrid just said with yin and yang, and that's about balancing masculine and feminine energy. Because if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have a business, you got to learn how to utilize both those energies. You need to know when to be feminine, the compassion, the curiosity, the concern, and you got to know when to be masculine, confident, certain, clear, right? And it's not meaning coming off like a jerk and being salesy and all that kind of stuff, but it's really getting in there. And as much as I do not like to use these 2 words, because we are dealing with human beings with real health problems that are people's parents, they're people's kids, they're moms and dads, sons and daughters, best friends, they're real human beings. But when it comes to marketing and sales, that's where I kind of step in. And when Ingrid was talking about ad copy, it's not just the ad copy. And it's not like we hand it. I mean, Ingrid, do we hand you a bunch of templates and fill in the blanks and say, here you go, just send this out? No.
No, there's a lot of work you have to do on your part. But having somebody in your corner to like proof it and to give you feedback, and that's priceless. I mean, that's what I was missing.
Yeah.
Really.
And it wasn't like we just comment, like we actually went in there. It's like, okay, Ingrid gives us her input, because our whole goal is we know if you're going to serve at a higher level and you want higher end clients, they're going to come in and actually do the work so they're getting better results. You've got to speak from an authentic voice, not using templates, not using swipes, not using fill in the blanks. People who do that struggle. I see it all the time, because a lot of people come into us who tried other business coaching thing where they gave them a bunch of templates and they're still struggling. So authenticity is absolutely crucial here, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we do take, go ahead.
No, the other thing, that too, but the other thing that you brought to the table, Adam, was, you pushed me just enough to kind of go forward where I was like hesitating, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't ready to send those emails to get my first clients. I was ready for having my first client January 1st, but you just kept pushing me, and I was do it, but you did it in a nice way. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Right. And this is why she was able to make $9,000, right? Without having to sign a lease for her physical practice and going virtual in the first like 4, 5, 6 weeks we started working with her. Mm-hmm. And the reality is we've got to take you guys and push you outside your comfort zone, because you know why? That's where the results are.
Oh, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Yes.
Right. Well, that's one of the things we really specialize in. I mean, Ellie and I, we do Spartan races and obstacles. What we've learned, I mean, I've done, oh my gosh, 130 something obstacle races between like Battle Frogs and Tough Mudders. I mean, I got my Battle Frog hat right here. I got my all my Spartan pillows back here. I've got shirts and medals. I have so many medals from so many races. I had to bolt them to the studs of the wall because they fell off and brought the sheetrock off. They were so heavy. Mm-hmm. But taking that experience from actually doing obstacles and bring it to the world of entrepreneurship, because health entrepreneurship is seriously a course in obstacles. And, you're going to hit a 50-foot wall. Like Ingrid battled some really big, like Ingrid, what were some of the big 50-foot walls that you like smacked up against and felt like, I can't get over this?
Oh, I had a lot of personal stuff just going on that was like trying to, weigh my perseverance, I guess, and how badly do I really want this? Some pretty big stuff going on. That was a big 50-foot wall for me. And I think I mentioned before, just writing and being comfortable with this new step in the direction of being virtual and using technology was another big 50-foot wall for me.
Nice. And we got you over it. We're still getting you through it, right?
Yes, mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I'm sure there's going to be another wall that I have to tackle. It's just a matter of when. Not if.
Awesome. So I got to share your celebration again, because this is so cool. Got my first 5K client just a couple of days ago, even after she enrolled her first 3 at 3K. And Ingrid, for anybody listening right now, whether they're a physical therapist, whether they're a personal trainer, whether they're in yoga or Pilates, or they're in a manual kind of realm, or their wellness or their health coaches, what kind of advice could you give to them right now if they're really looking to get great results with their clients and have a healthy bottom line?
Gosh, take a leap of faith and try something different. You never know what might come out the other end. If you had told me I would be where I am now back in September, I'm not sure I would have believed. I really thought there was really only one way to work, and I couldn't get out of my own box of how I was thinking. So you never know. When you take a leap of faith, it might turn out to benefit you.
And let's what you just said, get out of the box. And we like to follow what Deepak Chopra says is stop thinking outside of the box. Let's get rid of the box.
For sure.
That's what we do. So any of you out there listening right now, if you'd like to see if you might be a candidate and you might be able to do the same thing that Ingrid is doing, getting online, going virtual. Now, for some people, they got to see people in person. If you got to, like, we've got Jacob Peter, we've got a functional practice in Washington, and we've actually done this for them locally too. But if you're really looking to bring in high-end clients that are compliant, that are doing your work, that have amazing transformations, that's the most important thing. And you want to see if you might be a fit for this, then I invite you to come over to movethinksmile.com/apply and see if you qualify for a complimentary wellness business growth session. If you do qualify, just fill out the form, get the results. You'll be taken to our direct calendar. And I mean my direct calendar or my partner's direct calendar, Elia. We do all the calls. We talk to everybody personally. We don't have like this sales team of people because we take your business that seriously. We take the success of your clients that seriously. Now, before you click that link, it's very important that you know our 3 rules. They're very strict, but they are reasonable. Number 1, you must have the skills or talents to solve a major health or wellness challenge. Like Ingrid, she's got a physical therapy background. She's got a Pilates background. She's got a postpartum corrective exercise specialist background. She knows what she's doing, right? Number 2, you must be dead serious about helping your clients win with their health and their wellness every step of the way. If you're not, we cannot help you, right? And number 3, well, you got to be open-minded. You got to say, okay, maybe there is a different way of doing things. Maybe I can help people without having to burn myself out. If that's you, I invite you to see if you qualify. Come over to movethinksmile.com/apply. See if you do, and get on our calendar and let's chat and let's see where it's at. It is a complimentary growth session. So Ingrid, on that note, with everybody watching, do you have any other parting shots for the people watching?
Just do it. Take a leap of faith. You have nothing to lose except for growth, really. Like I said, I was just blown away with how quickly I had this traction, and the momentum just kept building. And I'm still building the momentum, and I'm excited about what the future holds. So yeah.
Nice. This is awesome, because it was super sketchy talking to Ellie that first time on the phone, wasn't it?
No, not at all. No, I mean, clearly it wasn't. It was like, it felt like home. Like that's where I needed to be. So clearly she did her job because I didn't sign that lease. So
that's awesome.
yeah.
Well, we're not done yet. Ingrid has actually just gone through what we call basic training, and she's working in our advanced level 2 stuff. And this is how we're going to be able to getting her to getting. And what's your goal per month again? How many clients?
3 to 4.
3 to 4. So we're looking at anywhere from 15 to 20 grand a month.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you've been through this, do you believe that's actually possible now?
It's definitely possible. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening, and it's
Yes.
happening quickly. So guys, come on over to movethinksmile.com/apply, see if you qualify, and let's chat soon. Take care, everybody. We'll talk soon in the next episode. Thank you, Ingrid. It's been my honor being your guide up Success Mountain.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.